Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. I have just about recovered from Milan. I don't think I have, actually. I feel like I could sleep for a week, but the show must go on this weekend as we're back in Premier League action. Before we get into the match preview and the Cellar Stack fan zone stuff and all of that, my trip back, right? I'll fill you in. If you haven't been following us on Instagram and the Magpie Channel, my story's got reshared on there. I'll fill you in very quickly on what happened. So, the Wednesday, the afternoon, the day after match day, I was due to travel from Milan to Paris and then Paris to London. Milan to Paris, absolutely fine, lovely stuff. Met loads of people in the airport, great crack. Same when I landed in Paris. Me and Thomas there, works for the foundation, and a few other lads, all enjoying a beer and a beer in the airport, and then bang! My phone goes off, and actually it was my Apple Watch that went off, and I was like, oh no, please no. It just popped up like an Outlook email, and then flight changed, and I was like, oh please just be like, I would rather have been the next day, or like half an hour to an hour. The flight was cancelled, and then they put us on the next available flight, which was 3 hours later, to Paris to London, and then obviously the train from London to Newcastle. I then arrived back into England at 7:30 instead of the 4 o'clock that I should have got back. I was on the train from Gatwick Airport to King's Cross, then I was going to get the King's Cross train to Newcastle. That train to King's Cross was delayed. It got stuck on the track for about 40 minutes, so then I missed the next train. And then I found out that the trains had been cancelled because of overhead wires. So the next train I was meant to get, the 9 p.m. one, cancelled. There was one train left to get at 10 p.m. That one was meant to be running. I then get off at Stevenage, as I could have got the connection at Stevenage, and then that was delayed by about 3 hours. Long story short, I was stuck in Stevenage for over 3 hours as well. So I delayed 3 hours in Paris, I was delayed about an hour in London, and I was delayed 3 hours in Stevenage. I didn't end up getting on a train to Newcastle until 1 a.m. I didn't get back until 4 a.m. Back in the tune at 4 a.m. I am absolutely knackered. And I was already knackered after 3 days in Milan. It was hard graft. It really was, the drinking and everything else, but it was just draining, not much sleep. And then getting back at 4 a.m, my God, that was awful. Standing in Stevenage in the rain, early hours of the morning, lifted, and I've been knackered. I slept most of yesterday. Today I've been a bit busy, actually, that's why this preview is coming so late for you lot. But I just thought I'd fill you in on the nightmare journey I had back. But, would I do it all over again? Absolutely, of course I would. What a trip it was. Sensational time away in Milan. Go check out the videos if you haven't already. They deserve a lot more views than they are getting. I'm telling you, those videos are absolutely class. But we've had loads on social media. We're blowing up on social media. So, and to be honest, just as a fan, fantastic is what it was. And I'm booked up for Dortmund as well today. Got that sorted. Flights and hotel. This time, direct from Newcastle. No messing about in stinky Paris, shitty Stevenage, or any of these connection flights here, there and everywhere. Yeah, we're straight there, baby. So buzzing flat. Anyways, there's enough of my whining out the way. I just thought I'd fill you in on my nightmare journey. And now it turns to the Premier League. And it's from the San Siro to Sheffield. What a turnaround that is, eh? What a come down that is. Before we do get into the preview, we're going to talk about the Stack fan zone because the official date has now been released. Earlier they were saying, they were hoping it was going to be ready for the end of this year. That was always a bit questionable, especially now that it's nearly October. When is it going to be made and revealed and able to actually go and enjoy a pint and some scran? Well, before I reveal that, if you don't know already, this video is brought to you by Circle. The QR code is there. Hit the download on the QR code, hit the link in the description, get around Circle, free to download, couple of quid to play, you can become a millionaire. Have a look at this video, that will describe it better.
The Circle of Fortune game for football fans. Here's how our new 5-match millions game works and how you can win. Let's get started. Pick your 5 numbers, one for each of our 5 chosen football matches. For each match, you must try and predict which will be the winning number at full time. We use live football action to make the circle spin. Some actions spin the circle right, others spin the circle left. Whatever number lands at the top at full time is the winning number. Good luck.
Right then, people, so we've got here the official statement from Newcastle United Football Club today on Stack. And just to cut it short, we don't need to talk about, we know it's going to be a venue on match day. We also know it's going to be open 7 days a week. I've done videos on the fan zone already. This point is just to let you know when it will be officially open. And they are aiming for spring 2024. So it isn't going to be ready by the end of this year. It isn't even going to be ready by January, February. We're looking at around March, April time for the St. James's Stack, powered by Cellar, to open. Now, they released the images as well. You know, it looks brilliant. you've got the stages in there, you've got the food, exactly what I said it would be about a year ago. So I've done videos on the fan zone, and it is what I said it would be. So there you go. There's information on Newcastle's website. There's not much point in going into it. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I mean, it's after 9 o'clock at night. I'm doing this now. I've got better things to do. Like go to bloody sleep. I'm waiting to go to sleep. Do you know what I mean? I need way more sleep before I travel to Sheffield on Sunday. I will be there on Sunday at Bramall Lane, by the way. So if you're there, say hello. And make sure you check out all the content that's coming your way on Sunday. So click subscribe if you haven't already. So that game is on Sunday, Eddie Howe's press conference today. I haven't even had a chance to listen to it in full. That's how tired/busy I've been. But what the pieces that I've saw and picked up on, the one thing I really want to pick up on is this comment that he made about the players training and who might be available and who might be picked for Sunday's clash against Sheffield. Those that played have not trained. Physically, they can't. That would be negatively taking more energy from them. We probably won't train fully before Sunday. We will be training, but not at our max level. I don't think anyone can measure emotionally what Milan took out of us. So the big thing I want to talk about here is how this is our first big test. This is our first big sample of what's to come in terms of playing twice a week, of playing Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, twice a week, Champions League, European travels, coming back on the road again, away this time. Thankfully, it's only Sheffield. It's not like we even going to London or anything for Chelsea away or something. It's a close away tie. But again, the fact of being 2 away trips in a week, how are we going to measure up to that? Are we capable of it? Well, the players aren't capable of training, according to Eddie Howe. So for me, this was worrying, you know. I don't know what you think, let us know in the comments, but I thought this was quite worrying, the fact that them players aren't going to train at all who played on Tuesday night. So they're not going to train at all. You'd think when they got back, they'd at least be training. Maybe give them a day or two, but you'd think they'd at least train today or tomorrow. But those players that played at San Siro aren't going to train at all. So no training for Tonali, for Bruno, for Botman, for Pope, for Isak. Apparently Isak's got a knock as well. He's been struggling with a knee injury, is what Howe has said for a few weeks now. And I can bloody tell. I think I said it in my match reaction. I at least said it to people in the stands. It looks like he was massively struggling. He should have been took off way earlier. He was so far off the pace. So for me this weekend, it's going to be interesting. And Howe was asked about, changes. Will he make them? He said he won't make wholesale changes. But I think we will definitely see some rotation this weekend. We've got to. If these players can't even train, it's a bit mad. I find that slightly worrying in the sense that, like I see it, I think they do 1 or 2 sessions. For them who have played in Milan and not be training, it is a cause for concern, considering this is our first Champions League away game, our first Champions League group stage game. What's it going to be like in a couple of months when we've on match day 4 or 5 of the Champions League and we've played more Premier League games and we've started playing the Carabao Cup like next week against Man City? It's a very busy week now. Sunday, Sheffield United. Wednesday, Manchester City. Saturday, Burnley. So there's 3 games in a short space of time there, and obviously on the back of travelling from Milan this week. So I am slightly concerned, but listen, this is what we've got the squad for. If you want to invest all this money in these fullbacks, do they play this weekend? I hope so. I hope Lewis Hall comes in and plays. I think he should. I think Lewis Hall should be playing this weekend. I really do. I think maybe even Tino Livramento. Trippier played against Milan, was outstanding. Can he get a rest? Turned 33 the other day. Do you know what I mean? If he's not training at all, might be a bit risky starting both of them, but I would definitely start Lewis Hall. In midfield as well, obviously he was asked again about Tonali. He was sticking up for him. He was rubbishing rumours that he can't be that number 6, that we need another midfielder, that him and Bruno can't play together. Howard stated they definitely can. And he said, Tonali's actually only trained once in the last month with his teammates. He's only trained once in the last month with his Newcastle teammates. So that was mental as well. That was a big revelation. So that kind of explains why things might not be ticking so much. Then a stat came out the other day that we've actually one of the worst teams in the league, one of the lowest ranked sides for creating chances in the final third. And barring the first game of the season against Villa, you can definitely see that. We have struggled to create chances, to score goals, to make openings, to even test the keeper. One shot against Milan on target, it was in the 96th minute. You know what I mean? It's not good enough. So hopefully on the weekend we can get firing a little bit. So for me, that would mean start Wilson. I'd start Callum Wilson against Sheffield United. I'd maybe even start Barnes again. He did that against Brentford last week, to be fair, and it didn't work out that well. Is there anyone else that would come in? Could Anderson get a start? There is options there, and we need to start using these options. Obviously, Almiron was rested the other day. He came on as a sub, but Jacob Murphy started at the San Siro. So I think we will see a good few players mixed up, brought in, rotated this weekend, especially without them training. And it makes sense to me. I think get fresh legs up there. with the Isak concern, with his lack of fitness, I don't think he'll start. Obviously, we know Joe Linton's going to be out for a few weeks. Joe Willock is still out for a few weeks. There's injuries there. But in terms of Sheffield United, you know, they've got injuries as well. They've got a good few players out. They've also got McBurney up top who's suspended. And let's be honest, Sheffield United, I don't think it'll be an easy game, mind. I think it will be tricky. It could be a bit hostile again. Their fans will be up for it. And I saw them, you know, they are winless so far since their promotion back to the Premier League. But they did look pretty good in a couple of games, especially the Man City game. You know, they lost that one late on. I think they're decent and the hard fighting, the battling, they make life difficult for you. They'll get in your face, but they just lack that quality. They lack that quality going forward. They lack goals and stuff. So we should be going there and winning. Listen, we need to be looking at back-to-back wins in the Premier League after getting 3 defeats in a row. And you look at our record against Sheffield United, it's pretty decent. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm optimistic. I am going to say it will be a tricky day out, but I'm going to go for a scruffy 1-0 win. And I'll take it all day long. Get those 3 points on the board and move on. We've just beaten Milan. Let's go to Sheffield, get a result, get the 3 points in the bag, and let's get on to next week, hopefully with no more injuries. 1-0, I'll take it all day. Tempted to go for 2-0 again, like we won there the last time with the St. Maximin and Shelby goals, who are obviously no longer with us. Haven't passed away or anything, they're just transferred. Our quality has to shine. Listen, I'll be worried if you go to a promoted side and you don't win. I know they obviously look at their home games and they'll look at us, maybe a bit tired or whatever, and try and capitalise on that. But if we can't go to Sheffield and get a win, it will be slightly worrying. Unless it depends on the performance. Listen, if we batter them and then they score 1 goal, whatever, that happens. But, you know, we've got to go there. And I want to start seeing things tick. I want to see more chances. I went all the way to Italy to see 1 shot on target with seconds to go. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not slating it. I thought it was a good point. It was amazing trip and all that. But in all seriousness, I need to see more. It was the same when I went to Man City. Didn't see we do anything for 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I want to see us shots on target, testing the keeper, some nice ball retention, some nice passing. You know what I mean? Not asking for loads, not asking for a 5-0 win. Just let's attack. Let's create some chances. Let's give the fans something to cheer about. So Sheffield United on Sunday. I'll be there. 1-0 prediction for me. Longstaff. This time it's going in, Sean lad. Let's go. Drop your comments below what you think of this weekend's game. What's your score prediction? Subscribe to my channel TV. Give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next one.